Hello there, Gia.
Hello again. How are we doing?
Hi. Good. We started and we were having some technical difficulties. I don't know if we've ironed them out, but we're gonna try to start over. So if
We don't even care.
what?
We don't even
What?
care. We're
Hello?
just gonna.
You're just gonna
Is it already screwed up? Oh no.
No, but I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Just don't mess with me, okay?
I'll try not to, but I'm getting a little cranky. But anyway.
Me too. We're gonna be super irritable, and we had such high hopes for tonight's episode.
I know, because you have an episode like today when
Yeah,
you're watching along, you're
yeah,
having your coffee and
la,
whatever, and you're like
yeah,
la di da, and
mm-hmm.
then you're like, oh my god, and your head swivels around. There's nobody there but the cat to
Yeah,
like.
cat looking at like you, like God, you're an idiot.
Oh my God, you're pathetic.
You don't think your cat's thinking that?
No, I think she does think I'm pathetic because I'm staring at that box, and she's like,
I know.
You could be doing something.
We think they're weird for playing like in a cardboard box, but we're staring at one box all the time that doesn't move.
I know. She's like, you could be helping me destroy these blinds over here. God,
useless, complete waste of time.
Look at all these blinds to destroy. So anyway, that was an awesome
hung
moment.
them up for me.
Yes, thank you. You love me.
Yes.
Yeah, and I didn't even know, as we already explained to each other, but we'll explain it again. I think we both thought Ava was going to get it today.
Yeah, because they showed that camera honing in on that scene, right?
Yeah.
And we thought, Sonny's people were collecting evidence, and we're going to sort of have it bite them right in the ass, if you will.
Yeah. They were, and, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. I shudder to
what's
think
happened to her.
Will something bad happen to her and or the baby? We don't want either of those things to happen. But
right, yeah. It didn't seem like it was that far a fall, did it? Couple of stories, maybe 3.
It didn't seem very far, but the impact in water, and there was blood. I guess from the glass.
There was blood, yeah.
Yeah,
and we didn't talk about this, but doesn't it seem like the hotel would have some sort of safety glass?
One would hope so. I feel like Carly's going to get sued over this. Did I lose you?
Yeah, no. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There was a very long pause, and I thought maybe it was just your brain taking a moment. But
it did pause. Yeah, it did. It stepped out for a minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should have safety glass for sure. You're right.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I think they could improve on, and then also I think it would have been interesting if she had landed on Wiley.
Oh man.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that. That's awful. That's just terrible.
He might not have been hurt, just startled, Maybe he would never swim again, but that's fine.
What I even was thinking, like my hatred for TJ is right now is the strongest.
You cut out, Gia.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking that TJ will still somehow make this all Kristina's fault, and
yeah.
If there's a chance for him to respond badly, he will.
Oh, you cut out, Gia.
Oh my goodness, we might have to not do this tonight, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but yeah, maybe we should pull the plug on it.
Well, and it could always be them. I mean, sometimes we've been very frustrated and
it's them.
And it's them, right?
Yeah.
Whoever they are.
I don't know who they are either.
But you hearing me okay now? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's always like when we're trying to talk about the show that things,
Is it some form of censorship?
There's like a bouncing kind of
a weird censorship
maybe,
where they don't want us to say things about the show.
Maybe
Well,
we should just keep talking like we don't care, and maybe it'll
we
be
don't
fine.
care. Okay.
We
All right.
don't. Okay, so
Okay.
sorry everybody if we've just been like fucking around. We're trying to figure out what to do. So let's just pretend we're not going to have any problems and
Okay.
see how far we go.
All right.
Okay.
That's like
Um,
life, really.
yes, that is exactly like life. But speaking of which, I took a spectacular fall last night when I was doing some painting.
Oh no, are you all right?
Well, yes, because I landed on my ass. So it's like I
Oh,
felt
good.
nothing,
Okay.
I felt
Did
nothing.
you fall off a ladder or something,
But
you mean?
what?
Did you fall off a ladder?
Well, I was standing on a chair and I was gonna step down, and I got my foot like tangled in the back of the chair. So
Oh
it's like
no.
one of those moments where it's happening, and you
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
let it, and yeah, I got some bruises on my legs, but since my ass really absorbed most of the impact, perfectly fine, really.
Well, that's good. Say thank you to your ass.
I should thank my ass more often.
That's that's what they're for soft landings, you know.
No, and I think all the pets in the house were like, "Oh, look at this, look at this."
They're just happy you didn't land on them. Like,
Yeah, yeah, not this
yeah.
time. But
Okay.
anyway, so speaking of falling, yes, Kristina took a big fall. And leading up to that, not just with her argument with Ava, but everybody else who was talking about her, like around town, like at the same time, I guess we're supposed to believe, right? Like Sam and
Right.
Molly,
Sam and Molly were
TJ, Alexis,
yeah, yeah.
and also TJ and Jordan, before he ran into Alexis, and everybody seemed to be. They all seemed to have quite a low opinion of Kristina, didn't they?
They did, yeah, and I didn't think she deserved what they were saying about her. I really didn't.
No, like beginning with Alexis saying that like Molly got the good qualities from Alexis
I know
and
they were
Kristina
being
got the bad. It's like
yeah, they were being very
that seems
cruel.
awful. I
Yeah,
don't think a
it was
mother would
weird.
say something like that. Yeah.
No,
So was
usually
that
I'm
supposed to
totally
like
yeah, usually I like Alexis as a mother. I feel like that's a strength
yeah.
of that character, but that was a bad
Mhm.
moment. Very
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And
Very
I think
bad.
I think everybody else should have been trying to convince Molly that she and
Mhm.
TJ were out of line for
Yeah.
misunderstanding what happened in the interview. Um,
Yeah. And instead it seemed like mostly they were digging in.
yeah, yeah, it was weird. And
Yeah.
TJ couldn't have been any more unappealing. Oh my god.
No, he's just super unpleasant, really. It's yeah, he's very hard to listen to.
Yeah, and then he kind of like got up on his high horse with his mother-in-law. Never a good idea, you know.
No. she I mean, yeah, she was really trying to keep cool, but
Yeah,
he
but
it
he was
like she didn't
pushing it.
really, yeah, and she didn't leap to Christina's defense, maybe like she could have, but I guess she didn't want things to escalate. So
Yeah, but yeah, they need to do something about that character. He is yucko. I mean, God.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
They
guess. Sorry, go ahead, dear.
I was just gonna say that he in the past I'd kind of felt like he was an okay character, but he was kind of a golden retriever, kind of like he was like
Mm-hmm.
tofu, he just took on whatever flavor.
I like tofu more than TJ.
Oh, oh, I do too, but you know what I mean. He was just
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of like you could kind of do whatever with him,
yeah.
um,
Uh-huh.
and he was mild mannered and pleasant enough, but
Yeah.
not all that
Mm-hmm.
distinctive in any way.
Right, right.
Well, now he's distinctively asshole-ish.
Yeah.
Just
And he seems like, well, it seems like he and Molly, I don't know if they're bringing out the worst in each other, but they're reducing themselves to pretty petty people.
very petty and small-minded for
Yeah.
two people that like kind of wanted to save the world before.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
supposed to be these progressive people who didn't need like
yeah,
an official like traditional wedding ceremony or anything. They're
yeah,
supposed to be
yeah,
like a little more evolved.
Well, that happens. People do sometimes bring it like I was telling one of my brothers that my other brother and I kind of bring out the worst in each other. Like we see a dark side in the other one, and we encourage that dark side.
That sounds scary, Gia. Gosh.
I just mean more in that we both like we'll kind of like snark about people and things in a way, and start just seeing the worst about things and being really snarky and pessimistic about life with each other. And luckily we have the middle brother who is more has a sunnier disposition. And he'll be like, "Hey guys, you know,
hey, just chill, would
and we'll be like, shut up, we hate her," you know. Or whatever, you know.
That's sweet. I think there's probably a similar dynamic in my family with different brothers. You know, you have different a different take on life, you know.
Yeah, but you can kind of connect on some wavelength, and then you get going on that. You get riffing on it, and then
I think we sort of connect over like the absurdity of everything, and especially us.
You and I, or are you talking about your brothers still?
My brothers. Yeah.
Oh yes. You and your brothers are absurd. I agree.
Yes, ridiculous even.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I think your brothers, from what I've seen, have been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed my.
They can always make me laugh.
Like that one Thanksgiving when your brother and his friend were dancing on acid or whatever they were doing. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know if it was acid. I do know that they frightened my Canadian friend.
I know.
Who's lovely. Hello, Charlotte, if you're out there.
Hey, Charlotte, she is lovely. But that was the funniest Thanksgiving. It was kind of like
it was a little like if Twin Peaks was a sitcom, you know.
Yeah. And we had a spread of food like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, we did.
And then also entertainment, you know.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we were dancing to, but it must have been.
There might not have been music. I don't know.
Yeah, was there music or just dancing?
I'm not sure. It might have just been dancing. But. Anyway. So Molly and TJ, the chemistry there is, I don't know. I'm not liking either one too much.
No, if they're both so sort of bitter and kind of, I don't know if it's not quite selfish, but they're definitely not seeming to be able to put themselves in Kristina's shoes.
And I think Kristina is, for the most part, acting in good faith, you know, and being generous and open. I mean, I think she's justifying her feelings now, you know, finding reasons to want to keep the baby. But I think she went into this in good faith. And
I think so, too.
And there was kind of relief when Molly went and apologized. And it was like, oh, okay, they sort of patched things up. But then when Molly was speaking to
But
Sam,
it didn't seem entirely sincere on Molly's part, did it?
Yeah, I mean, when she was talking to Sam, she was speaking very condescendingly about, well, at least I was able to help her out with her.
I know, like, what would she do without me?
Yeah, I was like, God, you're being a jerk, you know?
Yeah. I guess the good thing about the dive, I'm going to call it. It was a dive because I still have the Olympic fever, and
I know you've been so into it, and all I've watched is two horsey things, really.
One of my friend that I work with was watching the dressage, and she was. I wish I could hook you up with Gia because I don't have much to add in a conversation about dressage.
Well, you could have talked about fashions or.
I guess
hair products, you know, like the tails, manes and tails.
See, that doesn't really come into play in a lot of the other sports. Although
probably not.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So,
but we've had some. Yeah, I guess I'm sure it does to the people who enjoy the horsies. I will say that there's been some fantastic Olympic moments so far. It's been, I think, a good Olympics, I'm going to say.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
But okay, so yeah, about the fall. Now that kind of resets everything, doesn't it, or shouldn't it?
You mean with she and Molly and TJ, that situation, or
Yeah,
Ava,
it's like
or
everybody's gonna have to sort of like get a grip. Yeah, all the people, all the players involved in this baby storyline.
Oh yes, they'll have to get a grip, but I'm afraid Ava is going to be murdered immediately by Sonny. Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on if whoever's behind the camera, if they can see what actually happened, or if it does look, even from that point of view, like Ava pushed her. And what about that
I think
fucking
it's Brick, isn't it? Brick, or is Brick at the Olympics right now?
should be covering the basketball. I don't know. I haven't seen him at the Olympics though. He seems to have to tail Jagger all over the place, so he should be probably close to the Metro Court.
Did you enjoy the Jagger in the towel? Did that do anything for you?
No, I think he's looking more and more like a psychopath and behaving like one.
That doesn't necessarily have to stop the pants feelings from coming.
I'm afraid for me it does. Maybe that's why I'm alone.
You have the high standards. He is a man obsessed, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's just like, he seems like he's just raging, like more than Sonny. If they're talking about volatile people,
they keep talking about Sonny losing it. Sonny's like not nearly as much as Jagger's losing it.
Jagger's supposed to be the guy who's like the slick, cool professional,
Yeah.
And when he was in his towel and stuff, and it was all sort of like, Ava was like, yeah, I think you should leave. That was when I started to think, ooh, maybe they are going to listen and have him be like this ugly little like roomie, who hangs his stuff all over and doesn't want to leave. That would have been hilarious, I think.
He doesn't. He tossed that little suitcase back over there.
Yeah, and that's what led to the accident.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have a question, and maybe you or maybe one of our listeners can explain. So, okay, so we had the towel scene with Jagger and Ava and Trina.
Yeah.
And so then Trina goes rushing to the pool to tell Joss. Both she and Joss kept looking up like they were looking for
I know.
What was happening there?
That was weird. That was like, I was like, wait a minute. Is there a camera? Do they know there's a camera trained on them or something? It was telegraphing more than foreshadowing. No, I'm glad you brought that up, because it was one of those things I was thinking, now they're better actors than this. They're not just like looking to see, when Kristina's going to come out of the window so they can step out of the way,
Maybe it was like us. Maybe they'd done that scene a million times and they were like, oh, fuck it. Just keep this one. It's fine.
That could be. Yeah, because they can't shoot a scene like that very often. I wouldn't think she'd have to drive off and everything, and put the window back. Yeah. So yeah, you're probably right.
That's funny though, because I was like, "What?" Yeah. I was like, "Is there something? Did I miss a sentence? Are we like? Is somebody like? Were they looking to see if Ava was?
They seemed like they looked
maybe?
Kind of paranoid.
Yeah. Maybe they were looking to see if Ava was looking at them or something like that.
Maybe. I guess that's possible, but it seemed like they should have acknowledged it if that was the case,
Yeah.
And we've never seen them behave like that before. It was just all a little odd.
Yeah, it was weird. Okay, so I didn't know if I'd missed something that I
don't think so, Gia. Okay. I don't think so. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I'm glad that happened on a Thursday. I can't remember if in the scenes from tomorrow's episode, did they show anything about?
I don't even remember. Isn't that weird?
Me too. Well, I think it's the heat. I was feeling very sort of semi-conscious.
I think I might have just been still reeling from Kristina's.
Maybe.
What are we calling it? Dive? Kristina's dive?
Yeah.
Swan dive?
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been fun if like Joss and Trina had scorecards,
Well, and Joss is not the most on the ball.
It's not the best lifeguard, huh?
Yeah. There should have been like an immediately splash right afterward. Joss
instead of just standing there like with her mouth open.
Yeah, she should have been doing the Baywatch.
The running with one of those things. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to back it up a little bit, what was your reaction to the Brennan reveal?
Well, silly. It was silliness. I thought.
I mean,
I know you got some pants feelings.
Yeah, and I just like.
So it's been there's been a lot in your pants this week, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. I like how smirky he is, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that was another thing where I was kind of glad to see them just like get to the punchline, like, what do you know? There he is, instead of and going all over the place, knocking on all these doors and talking her like, shop talk that doesn't really ring true,
right? And she just does things with her hands that makes her look professional or something.
Yeah, and she like the names she was making up of the people that she could call.
Yeah. Does this mean that Pikeman is wrapped up as a story? Is that
I was really hoping that's what it meant. It was still hard to follow,
It's it is, but I was thinking, well,
I guess it does.
Like Valentine's
this
on
could
the
be
run.
What we've been hoping for.
Yeah, right? Brennan's out and in the clear and back at work, and Jagger is Jagger has moved on to Sonny, basically.
Right? He could care less about Pikeman, right?
Right.
Even he was handed all this evidence.
Yeah, it was like Pikeman was just a ruse to get him into Sonny's orbit. And,
right. Yeah. But I guess there's no point in questioning any of it.
Don't question Pikeman. Just go with it.
Yeah. We just have to surrender to it, I think.
Surrender to Pikeman. Yep.
Yeah, because we've been burned so many times by Pikeman.
There's a line from Star Trek: The Next Generation that you probably aren't familiar with, but some of our listeners might be familiar with. You will be assimilated. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's it. That's the line. You will be assimilated.
Oh. Okay. You will be assimilated.
Yeah, it's the Borg. The Borg are like it's a collective, and they just go around and they swallow up people from different, races.
Okay.
And stuff.
Okay, and they just become kind of like too.
They do. They're part of the hive, and I feel like that's kind of what Pikeman does. That's just nobody gets it or understands it, but it's this thing out there, this big thing.
Right. That's I like that. It makes it a little more sort of abstract, and kind of philosophical, You know what? Another just symbolic of our hostility.
A good phrase that we heard in a movie the other night. We watched Tombstone? Yeah, Tombstone.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And which I thought was a pretty blah movie. I was like,
Yeah.
But Val Kilmer was pretty good, and he has a line about I'm your Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry. And I don't know why, but it was very
just
effective. Yeah.
Is that so? That's going to be like your line when you're out now, and you see a guy who looks like Brennan.
Yeah,
you might say something like that.
Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry. Yeah, I think it's I'm your Huckleberry. Just say when. Anyway, that's all it was. That's the only thing that I
Okay.
thought that was really good about the movie, and the horses.
Sure. Okay.
Sure.
Well,
Other than
good
that.
review. Good review, Gia.
Yeah, I think Val
Um,
Kilmer has like an inherent weirdness that shines through in movies, and that's what makes him a little sparkle pony. I know he's pretty much all done now, the poor old thing,
mhm.
but
Yeah. I don't even know how to respond to anything you said in the last 5 minutes.
did you hear any of it, or have I just been cut out?
Unfortunately, I did.
I'm sorry, I got off topic. I just got thinking about Val Kilmer a little bit. That's all.
Gosh. Well, it's because you've had pants feelings all week. Anybody's starting to look good to you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, early Val Kilmer did look good.
Okay.
No, you didn't think so?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking that the two lines that you cited from Star Trek and Tombstone, they had
Yeah,
very different energies, you know? So you're a
yeah,
complicated person, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
yeah. I've been trying to tell you that.
I still feel like I might need a little more evidence, but
Deal with it.
oh God! All right, so where were we?
Well, I was asking about the Brennan reveal. I'm just
Yeah,
glad that they had the smarts to go, oh, we need to get him out of prison and
yeah,
back as a character. Like, I don't know if he will be a regular character now,
right, yeah.
but
Well,
I hope
yeah,
so.
that's a good question. It still seems like there's a lot of things up in the air with Sonny, and he's still, we don't know exactly what he's capable of now because the one thing that he's starting to show is just his hostility towards people that care about him, you know?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, everybody. But
He's
why
just
are we
sort of
talking about
pouting.
Sonny? Are we done with Brennan?
Jesus. All right. Let's see. It's
What can I just say one last thing about the Brennan situation?
I'll give you 3 more minutes of Brennan related
Okay.
discussion. Okay.
I think we can't be quite done with him because I think we're pretty sure that he's the one that erased
Yeah.
the Carly
Yes.
footage,
Yes.
right?
Right. Definitely. Yes.
And so she's going to have to go for a face to face, as it were.
Do you think she's figured that out or will figure that out?
She will figure it out because she said something about I must have a guardian angel, and
And I guess
yeah,
she probably, well, if she learns that Brennan has maybe she'll go to the jail to thank him or something, or just to
yeah, yeah,
tell him what happened and realize that there was never a prisoner named Brennan.
right. And then she'll track him down. She'll freshen up, and then she'll track him down. And there'll be just a lost weekend of
Oh gosh.
Carly and Brennan, just to thank you, and that could be it. That could be a beautiful little weekend. That it doesn't have to be anything more.
Oh, would that be enough for you?
Yeah, I think that would be enough, and we could just
Okay.
that could be the end of that character, and it would have been
But you would like to see his buttocks if possible.
flailing, maybe. I don't know.
On the floor of his little office there in DC.
No, I don't want any more like carpet burn stuff.
I know. That felt like
Yeah,
a very claustrophobic little setting they had
yeah,
created there.
yeah. Maybe a
Another
nice
one,
hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess
Anyway,
that's
okay.
possible. Well, and Anna was talking to Jason about Brennan. What do you think was going on in Jason's little noggin there? Anything?
I don't remember that scene. What was she? Oh, she was explaining what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, Jason seems to have not have enough power anymore for
Yeah,
like
he
a
does seem like he's
badass.
right. And he doesn't have like any deep, I don't know, passion maybe. I'm not sure. He's just sort of maybe he's just been had all of that knocked down of him just being like locked up and then ordered around, maybe he just lost a little of his.
lost a little mojo or something.
Mojo,
Yeah, he just seems sort of like ineffective lately.
Yeah, just kind of more like willing to accept things, maybe. I don't know. Although not
Yeah.
really, because, he would have done anything to
I
save
think he
Carly,
may have lost some
but
power
I
because
didn't really.
he's talking too much.
Yeah,
You know?
he doesn't realize that every word that comes out of his mouth saps that
Right.
inner
Saps a little
Jason.
of it. Yeah, the Jason
Yeah.
power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
All these touchy feely moments with Carly, like
Yeah, right.
talking
Like
too much. Yeah.
trying to make up for lost time with his kids and stuff. He's got to stop
Yeah.
that.
All this mushy crap. And he even
Yeah.
like explained to, went to great lengths to explain to Sonny what had
Yeah.
happened in his life, and then
Yeah.
points out again that he
Right.
didn't
Right.
give him up. And it's like, don't lose your power, Jason. Don't, just
Just
do Jason and
yeah.
be
Just stare
silent and
at him.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird when these like I don't know if they're not really confessions, but when this information comes out and there's no reaction really, like this is the second time where Sonny or whoever has just sort of
Yeah.
been like flat, like
Yeah, right. Yeah.
because then you
I'm
wonder, well,
wondering
maybe it wasn't that big a sacrifice.
yeah. I'm thinking that maybe Lois, kind of moving on to Sonny's drug
Yeah,
thing, maybe
yeah,
Lois will be the one who will be finally like, people, what is going
yeah.
on with him?
You'd hope so. I mean, they circle around it. They mention the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
don't
mentioned that
know.
maybe he's taking the pills, but they're not
They're not
effective
working.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I guess they're not tracing it back to what happened to Dex, though. They're just seeing him
Right.
like being sort of pouty, and
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
trust me, and that made me sad.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just being such a baby and push,
Yeah,
like the Dante thing is also getting tiresome because I feel like Dante has had that this
yeah,
is the last straw
yeah.
conversation
You can really
way
only
too
have
many
that once,
times.
right?
Yeah. Only
Yeah,
supposed to do that once and then you step
yeah.
away. Yeah.
Right. Or you haul him off to the hospital to have his blood tested or something,
Right. Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, again, the dive is going to change what Sonny was plotting. If he was gunning for Jagger, like you said, maybe now Ava becomes,
He's going to be gunning for
his
both of them.
primary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Sheesh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Oh,
but it was an exhilarating moment, but yeah, I hope they're not. It would be so, wouldn't it be just ridiculously tragic if they kill off Kristina and the baby in one fell swoop? Wouldn't that be something?
wow. Wow. Yeah. I don't know how I would feel about that. I mean, that would
I
we
don't
be
think that's
left
what
with
they're
like,
doing, but
I don't think so either, but I hate to think we'd be left with Molly and TJ out of all of this.
I just think they're going to rush to her side and, of course, be terribly concerned and everything. And it'll all be all
Yeah.
loving and everything. But then they'll instantly start whispering about how it was Kristina's fault for being there arguing or something. They'll
Yeah.
twist it
Yeah.
around so it's all Kristina's fault somehow.
Yeah. And maybe like when she's
Yeah.
all doped up on some meds, they'll try to slide that little like termination thing into her
Oh, the
little
paper. Yeah,
bed and
yeah.
ask her to sign it. Yeah.
Yeah. But poor Kristina, I feel like I'm feeling more and more on her side of everything. Not that I think she should take the baby because, she
Right.
she
Right.
entered into a contract with them and
yeah.
And so I hope she doesn't keep going down that path.
And
But I feel like she should wash her hands of them because they're foul people. That's all.
They're just jerks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're being
so
jerks.
We'll see. They are being jerks. They are. I don't know if that's just. Go ahead. What? What's that, Gia?
I didn't say anything. You disappeared for a minute, and your phone made a weird noise. I think it's all on your end, really, the problem.
Oh, come on. Let's not do this here.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's both of us. I don't know. Okay.
It could be.
We'll say it's both of us. Is that all right?
All right. Equally. Yeah, that's all right. Who else do we need to discuss, or what else? What else have we got?
What else do we have? Well, what did you think when Lois was talking to Sonny? Obviously, she's worried that he's going to be using like mob money, even though he doesn't seem to be that active in his mob goings on these days. And I think he's got enough dough, I guess, that he doesn't have to use mob money. I don't know how much money a startup label needs, but pushing that issue obviously offended him. We did get to see more of Lois's pants, which we didn't care for.
We did not care for. I liked the idea, but I felt like they were poorly. The outfit was poorly executed.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I could picture that sort of high-waisted pants on a. What am I thinking? 1940s, you know, and the women would have their hair up in a big roll on either side, and like kind of like old-fashioned Navy sailor pants.
Exactly.
You
know? Yeah. And Lois has the kind of face where you could see her in an old movie, you know.
She does. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But they should have tried it on her body and fitted it to her form better or something.
Yeah.
It looked weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Odd. Off the rack, I guess you'd say.
I guess so. Yeah, it would be interesting to know how much pants like that cost. So maybe we will have to look that up.
More than you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. And I wonder how much Brooklyn's dress cost. Hopefully not more than like $40.
And that, you know, it might have been all right only if you just took that belt off. I think the belt was
belt off. Maybe, I would say maybe add a couple inches to it in length.
Okay, or some
and
pants.
Maybe lower the neck and shorten the sleeves. Then it's fine.
Make it completely different, and it would be okay.
Yeah, the same but completely different.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of unfortunate fashion there at the pool.
I kind of wonder if that particular actor likes to be.
Where'd you go, Gia?
I said, I wonder if that particular actor likes to be more covered up, because she seems to always be in.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that's part of it too. Yeah, lots of stuff that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's self-conscious.
I mean, her legs are frequently showing, but I feel like she's pretty much covered up all the way up to the neck. You know, most of the time.
Yeah, I know that's too bad.
But I mean,
though it's her choice, I guess. No, just in the summertime.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
When you're poolside.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I did like the blouse that Kristina was wearing when she was, falling into the pool. Yeah, and I thought maybe I could pull that off. You know.
Well, I hate to tell you, but that's like a maternity top, and so you'd be inviting a lot of weird questions, wouldn't you?
Well, like you're carrying low. What does that mean, boy or girl?
Kangaroo or something.
Yeah. Do you have any names picked out?
Yeah, she does. She does do well with the cute maternity looks.
Yeah.
Of course, she's not pregnant in real life, so that makes it easier, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. Did you think Scotty was brave for going over to Sonny's office at was that Volvanino's? What's that place called? Or Willow's?
He was just at the coffee place, wasn't he, with the Badger?
The coffee place. Oh, the Badger. Yeah, I was thinking he was at his little restaurant, but maybe it was the coffee. The Badger.
Maybe that is a little restaurant. The little back. Yeah. I don't know.
Where nobody eats.
I think that in retrospect, if he'd known Sonny was off his meds, it would have been brave. But he, just going over to taunt Sonny on a normal day is probably okay. But
wait, so he knows Sonny's off his meds, right? Because Ava told
he does
him.
know, right? Oh, okay, so yeah,
right?
then that's just foolish. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, maybe he wasn't thinking too much about that. I don't know if maybe everybody has a different idea of what off your meds looks like,
Or maybe he wants some, maybe he was prepared with a
Yeah,
phone.
maybe.
Maybe they're trying to push him over the edge on purpose,
Yeah,
to
which is a
more, which is
dangerous game.
Yeah, and kind of despicable, really. But
Yeah, I like to think Scotty is just a little more this side of despicable,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can see like greedy, sure, ambulance chaser, sure, but I don't want him to really be like, that awful.
Right, like cruel, right.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
But it is a little cruel. I mean, we talked about the ethics of now that he knows about the meds,
Right. Anybody who knows now, like Jagger too,
Right, right. It's pretty despicable to not do something about it.
Yeah. And also you think, even if you're coming at him hoping that you'll provoke an attack back at you, they don't know when he might just turn on somebody else, somebody else could get in his path.
Right, so, like Lois right now.
Yeah, yeah. And also I was thinking when Jagger was with Ava in their little room scene where you got the strong pants feelings.
Sure. Yeah. Like you do, sure.
And she was acting like, it's not a great look for people to see her with him. And then he sort of said the same thing, and that she's part of the Jerome family. And I was thinking, well, this guy's really a hypocrite, isn't he? If he's sort of willing to look the other way with all of her history and baggage and her family. And then Sonny's like, public enemy number one. And apparently the only person worth chasing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
He is truly being a rogue agent, just.
And a psychopath.
I don't know where you're getting the psychopath. What's psychopath about him?
Bottom, did you say?
No, I said what psychopath about him. Your mind's in the gutter.
You just okay. Maybe.
Come on back. Bring it back. Rein it in.
Okay. I'm trying to come back. It's a long trip.
I think he's a little unhinged right now and obsessed.
Unhinged, yeah, I think.
But
definitely.
I don't know if I'd say he's crossed into psychopath. Like he's not like a Ryan.
No, not really. But yeah, unhinged.
Or a Dr. Montague.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a tough one because he seems a little closer to Dr. Montague, where I think he might do things outside of the law to get what he wants.
Yeah. I don't think he'd kill, though. Do you think he'd kill?
I don't think so, but he might set up a situation that, could go terribly wrong. Who knows? I mean, but again, I don't know, like with the Kristina situation, where is Sonny going to go? Is he going to be like at her bedside, or is he just going to be off, like trying to, exact revenge on whoever did this? And I don't know.
I think one and then the other. First at her bedside. And
then... And then if she's like in a coma, he's free to go out.
Well, and this might be the thing that just really pushes him over the brink,
That's true, because this is genuinely like a blow to him in a lot of ways. Yeah. Because she's one of the few people that he hasn't really felt has let him down yet, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's gonna be rough on him.
Yeah. So that's a tough one, huh?
I mean, I haven't been liking him a lot lately, but I do feel sorry for him on a few fronts.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so it was kind of a relatively ho-hum couple of days. topped off with a big old moment. Yeah, like Did she do like a triple sow cow or anything into the pool? Like any Olympic moves that you could? No.
That's an ice skating maneuver.
Oh, is it?
We're in the Summer Olympics, for crying out loud. Gosh.
I don't know any Summer Olympics terms. What are some dive terms? Do they have any diving in the Summer Olympics? Right, they must.
Yeah, they do. God, they even, and I haven't watched a lot of it because it's hard to track down everything. You have to have like all kinds of different channels, but they have this. Weird. Isn't it? I don't know what the solution is, but I wish they could just have it on all the network channels and you didn't have to go to all these other
I know. Well, I think that's partly what's discouraging. And it's like, and you can't figure out what's going to be on. They do kind of a casual mention of like, we're going to do this,
Yeah. But, yeah. So it's been frustrating. But there's this synchronized diving where two people are both go off a platform at the same time, and it's kind of amazing but also a little bit ridiculous. Because I don't know who's
judged on how closely together they stay, like in form and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you imagine they must practice these things a million times,
Well, they probably want two people that are of the same exact height and build and everything.
Yeah. So like, imagine if you and I decided this is what we were going to do.
Yeah, well, we're of similar height and build, so we could do that.
I think I'd make a much bigger splash these days.
I don't know.
I don't know how, it seems like you'd drive each other nuts. You'd be watching the tape, like, would you just point your fucking toes?
You lost that for us. Yeah. Yeah, well, depending on somebody else would be hard. Yeah, not just your own.
Yeah, which is also sort of the marvelous thing about pairs figure skating, because there's so much trust involved in that. It's kind of fascinating.
I would think that's why you would get into the equestrian stuff, because that's a true partnership as well.
With the horse and the person?
Yes.
I feel like, I don't know. I know the horses probably enjoy it, but it's just, I don't know. It's a little weird for me to think that, we're using the horses for us.
They do enjoy it. They always give them a good pat on the neck at the end. They always give them a nice
pat. Oh yeah, I guess that's all I ever want.
You know how there are working breeds of dogs that if you don't
they need a purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta do their thing or they're gonna go insane. But if it gives us any credit, we have been watching this thing on PBS. I think it's called Gods of Tennis.
Yeah.
Seen any of that?
No, I saw that it was on, but I haven't watched any of it.
That's been interesting because I was a kid during that era. It's all about like
Billie Jean King,
Bjorn Borg and Billie Jean King and Connors and Chrissy Everett and the whole rise of the tennis stardom sort of stuff. And
that's when my mom was seeing the tennis pro, taking lessons. I should say.
I could see why, because everybody had everybody had the tennis fever at that point,
Yeah.
And so I was sort of aware of it. I was a kid at the time, but it was on TV all the time. Families were watching it all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's been sort of a fun, nostalgic thing to watch. It's not the Olympics, but it's sports. Does that do anything for me?
Sure. And they have tennis at the Olympics now. There's a lot of different new sports. I don't know how long tennis has been on the Olympics, probably longer than I think, but and golf and stuff. But it's interesting because like with golf and tennis, usually you're just playing for yourself,
Yeah. Right.
But then they have these tournaments where they're playing as teams, and like the Ryder Cup in golf, and the golfers always act like that's like the biggest deal in the world because they're playing for their country and their team,
Yeah.
So they must enjoy the Olympics for that reason too. But it's strange that they value that team experience so much when they've picked a solitary sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, in the end, we're all social
do you want to talk
creatures.
about Brennan?
I drifted away there for now.
I know.
In my head, I've been talking about Brennan.
These are the things I think of. Yeah. Did they show Brennan's whole body or just like his upper body in that scene? It seemed like he poked his head out.
Brennan,
right?
or Jagger?
Yeah.
Oh, they saw. She went in the office, and then he was like sitting, leaning.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really hope they'll get Anna back into like a normal person sort of behavior.
Yeah, I mean, who can they pair her up with next? We sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways we're running out of like people in the right age groups to pair people up with.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it needs to be like a romantic storyline, but maybe just some sort of mundane life business or something. I don't know, like where she just doesn't have to talk this stupid, like spy talk and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like maybe she could join a book club or something, and we could see.
Yeah, that would be fun. Sure, she and Felicia. That would be a good way to get some of these other people back into the scenes. And I was thinking. Sorry, go ahead, Gia.
I was just going to say that I met a wife of somebody, and she was talking about going to a book club, and she asked if I like to read, and I said, I was explaining that I do, and I was explaining that I really like noir crime fiction where they go like, the dames. And she was just kind of looking at me. I was like thinking, like, I guess that's not the kind of books they pick.
That's funny. No, they like to pick stuff where there's like, some sort of moral dilemma that everybody's wrestling with, I think. So there's stuff to talk about, but
there's a reader's guide at the end. I hate that.
Yeah, those always seem like such an insult to me, Yeah. Not that I could come up with good questions myself, but it's weird to think that,
we could come up with good. We're doing that right now. Like that's all we do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I forgot.
Very analytical.
Oh, sure. We're sort of professorial in our approach to General Hospital. Certainly. Yeah. Oh, it's about Anna.
Oh, Anna.
Club. Yeah.
Oh, Anna having a hobby or something.
Yeah. I don't know. She does seem to like wine. A lot of them like
could join a wine club.
Yep, or books and wine, and they could just get drunk and
Or paint. She could do a paint night.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, wine and sip and paint or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Well, you and I should do one of those next time we get together.
Okay, yeah, and they could all get really drunk, and she could just make phony phone calls to Brennan and stuff. Jagger. Just taunt Jagger, that'd be nice.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
Yeah.
Well, we've come up with a lot of good ideas once again.
It was effortless, really.
Pretty much. It's like almost an hour, but
yeah. Sorry, we were sort of working in fits and starts tonight, people, because of our technical issues, I guess.
Yeah, but I give us a B-, maybe lower.
Yeah, if it's pass fail, we're hovering right at it.
Yeah,
we passed. Fine. Yeah, with minimal effort, I guess. Seems like that's what pass fail does to you. You try just your bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, anyway, it'll be exciting. Tomorrow will be exciting. That was quite the cliffhanger there. So.
Yeah. That will be exciting. Oh, what I was going to say, Gia, maybe the reason why this isn't even interesting, but how you think.
Go on, then.
Have I got your interest now?
Yeah.
How you're thinking that maybe people aren't on the show is because they're on vacation because it's summertime and stuff like. They've been saying that there's a lot of COVID going around in California, a lot. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's been making the rounds again here too. So.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
you just had it. So.
Yeah, but it's nice to see like some of these characters back on the scene, that we hadn't seen for a while.
Yeah.
Although I don't want Jordan to be sucked into TJ's,
Yeah, well, there's not much
weirdness.
going on for her right now, so.
No, again, yeah, maybe she and Anna could embark on an adventure.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A caper.
Or maybe like go off for like on what seems like a singles weekend or something, and then it goes sideways.
But there'd be a murder. Yeah,
a murder, like on a cruise ship or something.
Exactly.
So everybody's vomiting because everybody's got some sort of food poisoning, like they always seem to on cruises. But then there's also a murder.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I've read that novel.
Are you? With everybody vomiting plus a murder?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's do this again in a couple days.
Okay, Gia. Sounds good. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Yep. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we do. Okay, Gia.
Yeah, we do. Okay. All right. You have a lovely night.
You too. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.